What's up, everyone? It is my final consecutive streaming day of the week. And today we got a great lineup of chill fun, but also some updates regarding one of my best Street Fighter sessions ever. How did that happen? Plus some fun news, hanging out, and just doing a little bit of a chill Q&A. All this and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 8th of May, 2024. I'm DSP, and in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have used this background color because it pretty much blends directly in with the shirt I chose for today, doesn't it? I don't want to use red again because I just used red the other day. That makes my shirt stand out more. If I use white, and now everything looks too white. If I use blue, what do I use? Maybe I use aqua. Because this is green. This is aqua. We'll go with aqua for another Krabs treasure today. There you go. A little bit of a different background. All right, so how is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Wait, if someone says blue, what about sky blue? Sky blue? Ooh, that's bright. That's bright for this background. Well, dark blue? Dark blue. How's everyone today? I hope you're doing well. It is my final consecutive streaming day of the week, meaning tomorrow's my day off. It's been a good week. It's been a fun one. And I hope that you've enjoyed everything that we've been doing. Good variety this week with more Another Krabs Treasure, more Fallout 4, me improving day by day, step by step in Street Fighter 6. It's definitely been a fun one, and I'm excited actually for next week because we've got another new game added to the mix. So, good stuff all around. And just remember, when I'm not here on my days off, you can always get caught up on all of my content on demand. All the gameplay is here in playlists, nicely ordered, titled, and numbered for you on DSPGaming. My React stuff is over on the DSP Reacts channel, which is youtube.com/@DSPReacts. Yes, the @ links work again on YouTube. They've been unbroken and fixed, so apparently they recoded the site and fixed the problem. And so there'll be new parts of that going through today and tomorrow. And then, of course, the throwback series that I've been doing, Retro React to The Walking Dead Season 1, also going live one part every day over on the DSP Throwback channel. That's youtube.com/@DSP Throwback. Plus, daily parts over there of ongoing playthroughs of Final Fantasy 13 and Fallout 3 Remastered. So, great stuff all around. Also, FYI, I've got a new video coming out likely on Friday. It is a fan-made montage of funny moments and entertaining clips from my history playing Fallout games. It's got the original Fallout 3 playthrough, the original Fallout New Vegas playthrough, the original Fallout 4 playthrough, and then it's got clips from my more recent Fallout New Vegas and the current Fallout 4 playthroughs, all put into a nice montage featuring some of the funniest moments like the Naughty Nightwear and the basement town brawl. If you have watched my Fallout playthroughs, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So that I'm actually going to release on the Throwback channel, probably make it the featured video for a bit, since obviously, you know, people are into Fallout Mania right now. It might be something nice to take a look at, okay? So, all kinds of fun stuff going on all my channels when I'm not here. I hope that you have some fun tomorrow. But in the meantime, hey, we got one more day left. And this week has been an outstanding week for streaming. Just to do a quick recap of what went down yesterday, because, you know, there were some things that were kind of uncertain how they were going to go. So Fallout 4 was a daytime stream yesterday, and after the weekend, where we had done it on Saturday, and honestly, it didn't seem like the audience was really into it, it actually kind of flipped yesterday. People were more engaged. I think what it is after telling everyone, hey, I want Fallout 4 to stay a daytime stream, but obviously I need people to show up and watch and support the stream, and please, you know, come by and hang out. They did. Yesterday was great. We had conversation, we had engagement, we had support, we had everything that makes a stream great, and the stream had tons of great advancement with my build. If you don't know, it's the Idiot Savant Melee build. First off, as we were exploring and doing some optional stuff, I kept getting murdered by a bunch of Enclave. Now, the Enclave actually weren't in Fallout 4, but they were added for this latest DLC expansion content a couple weeks ago, and man, they're tough. Like, they were melting me over and over, and it took me many tries to survive this kind of assassination mission against me. And then I ended up doing the Dunwich Dig mission. For those who played the game, you know what I'm talking about. And that turned into one of the best melee weapons in the game, which I didn't even know was there. I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, what a great reward here. That's excellent. And then we went to Salem and did like a bunch of questing in Salem, including fighting a ginormous Deathclaw, including fighting off a whole town of Mirelurks and other things. So that was really fun. We actually ended getting the alien blaster, and then, of all things, entering a different vault. And I was like, well, talk about crazy variety on one stream. It went really, really well, and I was, highly entertaining. Hope you guys liked it. If you haven't seen the videos yet, they're on demand, and it was a really good session. And again, thank you for everyone who was there. Just to give you some perspective on how crazy and unpredictable this build is. So I completed a relatively difficult mission, or it would have been difficult if I had used guns. But because I'm a crazy melee build and I'm popping chems and everything, I soloed a crazy boss level Deathclaw with melee build. So it was actually supposed to be very difficult, but I did it relatively easily. And then I went and I returned the Deathclaw's egg to its nest. And I ended up getting, you're supposed to get a big experience reward for doing this quest because it's challenging. The game triggered Idiot Savant. I got 5 times the experience of what I was supposed to get for the mission. Over 2,000 experience points in one go. And I gained 2 levels in one jump. I was like, holy crap. It was absolutely funny as hell. So the playthrough's going well. I hope that you'll check it out. I hope you'll attend the streams coming up. It was really good, and I can't wait for more this coming weekend. Okay? Cool. Now, last night, Street Fighter 6, after having one of the roughest nights ever, man, you want to talk about a turnaround. On the late night Street Fighter 6 stream, I had one of the best nights I've ever had in Street Fighter 6, okay? No exaggeration. You know, I've been playing the game for a year now, and as you know, depending on the character I'm using and the connections and all that, it could be very, very hit or miss. However, last night, amazing results, okay? In fact, taking a look at all the results I've ever had, this was actually the best night I've ever had playing Zangief in the game, ever. I've never actually played this well before with Zangief. So, this was a pretty darned good night. Listen to this. 34 wins, 20 losses, a 63% win-loss ratio. I propelled myself from the bottom of 4 stars, 4-star diamond that is, all the way to a third or further into 5-star diamond. So, what a jump. I mean, it was crazy. Now, how did I pull it off? A couple things. Number one, I was playing a little bit more consistently. I'm getting my spacing a little better now. So I'm actually starting to just do like raw drive rush, spinning pile driver, or the setups and the consistency of my tick throws, or, baiting stuff, and or just in general, my combo execution is starting to get more consistent and better, and that's great. But admittedly, another thing, just to be honest, not an insane amount of overpowered top tier stuff. Did I fight Cammies? Yes, but I learned my lesson. If I fight a Cammy, and literally, it's the same brain-dead pattern Cammy that 99% of the time just straight-up counters Geef, I played one match, and I got the hell out of there. I was not going to waste time dropping points playing against someone who easy mode plays a pattern and beats my character because he's low tier. So why am I going to throw away points? I'm an idiot. So I only played them maybe once, and then I got out of there, and because of that, I reduced the bleeding. Let's put it that way, okay? But, man, I had great matchups against Giles, Juries, Kens, Ryus. I'm trying to think who was the most prominent character. Actually, I didn't fight a single... That's another thing. I didn't fight a single Luke. There were no Lukes last night, which is kind of odd. There was a pretty good Marisa who I fought. Just keep going. It was a good on session. And like I said, that's the most consistent I've ever been with Zangief, ever. Like, I was nailing combos and stuff. But even then, some of the matches that I lost are just ludicrously stupid. For example, all night I'm doing well. Then I face a certain Ryu. The connection to this particular Ryu is so bad, the game refuses to give me a level 3 super. Twice I had the Ryu set up perfectly for a level 3 super, and the game only gave me a level 2, meaning it read 2 quarter circles instead of 2 full circles. It's pretty hard to get that wrong. I'm doing this versus this. How do you think it's the same fucking input? The netcode is such shit in this game. So, because of that, I lost those matches. You know, those are matches that were guaranteed wins. Counter level 3, giant damage, but no, of course not. And of course, every time I miss something, they get a ginormous punish, which is, again, something that Zangief can't really do. Every other character in the game has an insane giant punish combo where they can end up doing 60+% damage for relatively easy shit. Like, what I'm noticing now is Eds, okay? Ed characters. Basically, all people do with Ed is they just stand mid-screen and they throw out the stupid grab web move, or they dash up close to you and they do this one hit string over and over. That's either a hit string you have to block and parry, or they do a throw mix-up. That's it. That's all they do with Ed. Like, they don't even know what to do with anything else outside of that. So, what I'm noticing is that it's just so dumb that certain people just know that. Like, they know their one pattern, and that's it. But then, if you make one mistake, everyone knows a 60% combo. Ed has a 60% combo. Everyone does. But not Zangief, right? Zangief has nothing. So, it is what it is. I did well. Like, I'm pleased. I am a third into hitting master. Now we just need to stay the course, stay at the level I'm playing, and hopefully within another 2-3 streams, get to master before the update on May 22nd. And we're en route to do that. You know, another 2-3 streams, I think we can do it as long as there's no big disaster nights. It really depends on who I fight, honestly. Because at this point, if I don't fight nonstop top tiers, I win. Anyone who's like, you know, again, my level or you know, I say my level, I'm bottom tier. You know, Zangief is bottom tier. Anyone who's like mid-tier or lower, I can win. I can beat Blanca's. I can beat anyone that's, you know, that level. But as soon as you fight the upper echelon, particularly Cammy, again, Cammy seems to be the hard counter for quite a lot of characters. I think she hard counters Dalsim, and I think she hard counters Zangief. So, yeah, all I need is to not have nights where it's just the same characters over and over, and I'm going to be getting points. So, I'm pretty excited for more because I actually did so well last night. You get you pumped for more. You know, I came off of a set where I only had a 43% win-loss ratio, and I completely turned it around to 63%, which is a huge difference. So, good stuff. I recommend, if you didn't see it yet, watch the videos from last night, the 2 that I put out. It's the best Zangief gameplay I've ever done. I'm countering stuff with perfect timing, great setups, combos, mix-ups. And the thing is, it's funny, the best set I've done, guess what? Views are low. Why? Because I did good. Because a lot of the idiotic morons out there only watch my stuff to see me suffer or fail. So, of course, if I do a set and I say, oh, rage because I failed, giant views. But the moment that I say, oh, I did really good, oh, I don't want to watch that because I'm a fucking piece of human shit. And all I want to do is see some people have misery, right? You're a fucking scumbag if that's your mentality, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I can understand, okay, he's struggling and it's fun to see him rage. But to literally have, like, way less viewership because I did good, I mean, that's fucking stupid. It just shows how dumb the fucking people are, right? But I don't care. I'm going to continue to get better at this game. This is the way for me to basically prepare for this patch coming up that's going to rebalance the game on the 22nd. So, okay, so good stuff. I'm so pleased with how that went. I cannot wait to play again on Friday. Friday Night Fights, which is the next session, just so you guys know. Hold on. There we go. We're going to close the stats. There we go. Okay. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, Street Fighter's done. What are we doing today? Today should be a fun day. Number one. All right. Today's another Krabs Treasure. And another Krabs Treasure is getting better and better. Number one, I changed the control scheme. So now my dodge is instant, and the game has become way more fun to dodge on time. I press the button, the crab actually moves. Instead of having to press and release and everything's delayed, having things actually happen when you push the button, it's just night and day. It's a better experience overall, and I'm really enjoying that. So I hope that you will join me today for another Krabs Treasure. In addition to just having better controls, they've patched the game, and apparently this fixed a lot of bugs and wonkiness that I've been complaining about. They're saying it's going to be a little bit more consistent and stuff, so I'm excited to see how that goes. And then we are currently doing optional open world exploration because I got the ability to break those glowing cubes that are in the environment. And so far, I've gotten a ton of great stuff breaking them. You know, upgrade items and the like that have made my build way better. Now I'm doing tons more damage and everything. So I'm looking forward to more of that. It's a super good game. It's getting better the more I play it, for sure. Like, I would say at the beginning, it's a little bit tougher. But now that the build's getting better and I'm understanding the mechanics more, I have this special move now where I can charge my fist and teleport forward and punch an enemy like it's anime, and the enemy gets stunned or staggered. It's super good. I'm like, wow, this game is fun now. So I cannot wait for more today. That's the first stream. I hope you guys will stick around after the podcast for that and give it a shot because I'm really enjoying it. Excellent. So the first stream should be fun. We're going to start with continuing with the open world exploration. We were in this area in the northwest and I died. So I have to go back and get my microplastics back and continue the exploration in that optional area. And then I actually remember in the dungeon we were just in, the Grove, there were 1 or 2 of the cubes in that area as well that we can go back and break and see what's in them. That's cool. I'm excited for that today. It's going to be a good stream, a solid one. So I hope you'll join me for that. If we beat all the optional collectathon stuff and exploration, then we'll continue with the story, which is the Veil. It's a different dungeon that I've already got to and unlocked. I kind of sequence broke to get there early, but now we can go back there. It's appropriate for my level and take it on. So it should be a good time. Okay? That's today's day stream. Now, the night stream tonight, folks, we're doing something that we've been doing about once a month in recent months, and it's gone really well. Later tonight on the late stream, it is time to chill with Phil. It's going to be a late night hangout session, okay? All we're going to do is just enjoy each other's company. We're going to talk. We're going to chill. We're going to have some discussion about whatever, and it's going to be a fun 2 hours. I've really enjoyed doing these. Like I said, I think we started in like February, and whenever we have a week where there's just kind of an open night and there's nothing crazy going on in gaming, I don't have to rush to try to finish a playthrough or whatever. I really like doing something like that. And I could compare it. It's akin to like when we used to have our late night chill streams, okay? And sorry, I got distracted. There was a super chat that came in. Just for the record, everyone, shout outs. I shout them all out near the end of the show, and I answer everyone's questions because this super chat has a question attached, and it distracted me. I will get to that at the end of the show. And don't worry, there'll be plenty of time for it because I don't have much news or anything to do on today's show. Okay? So thank you for the super chat. So what was I saying? I got completely distracted. Oh, we used to do late night chill streams of various games over the years. Games such as Minecraft, Flight Simulator, Bassmaster, right? And those are all very fun streams to me. Like, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. But recently we haven't had like a consistent late night chill game, right? We just haven't had one in the rotation. So what's been happening is like once a month, I'll just do a random stream where we just hang out. And usually it ends up being super fun. We end up having a bunch of fun topics to talk about. And everyone has a good time. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. I hope you'll come by tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, for just chill with Phil. That's it. Just hanging out. There's a nice little break up the gameplay, break up the reacting, just do some hangout session stuff. Okay? So I won't be here tomorrow. And I hope you, again, have a safe day, a fun day, and you enjoy my content in the day that I'm not here. I return on Friday with a new game on the day stream that we're going to give a shot. I have no idea if we're going to like it or not, but it's a Game Pass game, and it's a cute kitty reference game, which is right up my alley, having, Jasper Kitty. When I played Stray years ago, that was a hit. So the game is called Little Kitty Big City. Supposedly it's in the vein of Untitled Goose Game. You ever seen Untitled Goose Game? It's a game where you control a goose, and on surface level, it looks like it's just silly, but no, there's actually puzzles and interesting things you have to do in order to beat it, and it's very entertaining. I actually really liked it a few years ago when I played it. So if it really is like that, but with a cat, I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. Now, we're going to play it as the day stream on Friday. If it ends up being fun and interesting, I will continue with it. If we play it and we're like, nah, it's not that good, or maybe it's a little bit too cutesy and too kitty or whatever, then we don't ever have to play it again. And that's cool. That's the good thing about having games on Game Pass like this is that we can explore and experiment with various games. Some will work, some won't. For example, Harold Halibut didn't work. Little boring, definitely narrative based, not much challenge to it. Probably something cool to play for yourself, but as a streamer, didn't really work. People weren't really engaged or liking it. But then another Krabs Treasure, complete opposite. Game's fun, challenging. It's interesting to watch. It's fun to play. And I can't wait for more, you see? So that's the cool thing. Will this game stick or not? I don't know. We'll find out on Friday when we check it out, okay? Then, Friday night, it is Friday Night Fights. It is more Street Fighter 6. Zangief trying to get him to Master Rank. Will I get him to Master Rank? Well, I'm just going to say this. If I fight other Master players and I get a win, when you're at Diamond level, you get 250 points per win. So last night, I fought another Master player, and I beat them twice, and I gained 500 ranking points for one set. That's like playing 10 other people, right? So that's what's going to happen. If I play Master players and I beat them, oh yes, I'm going to be kicking butt. So let's see how it goes on Friday night. I'm excited. I hope maybe I can even get Zangief to Master Friday. We'll have to see how it goes. And let's pray for not an on-stop onslaught of Cammies, please. Right? Then on Saturday, we'll continue on with Fallout 4. It'll be the daytime stream on Saturday. And then Saturday night is kind of up in the air, and here's why I say that. We could do another Krabs Treasure Saturday night. Or if we like this kitty game, we could do Little Kitty Big City Saturday night. It really depends on how it goes with the game on Friday. So let's see how it goes Friday, and then we'll judge what we want to do Saturday. Sunday, of course, is React Day, which is going to be me reacting all day. It's the clip show, DSP versus the Internet on the DSP Reacts channel. And then on the Throwback channel, it's the conclusion of my retro react of Heavy Rain, The Walking Dead Telltale series Season 1. I'm excited to see how it ends. We're going to finish episode 4, and then episode 5 is actually short. It's only 9 parts, so 90 minutes. So we'll definitely wrap it up, and then we're going to set up the poll that you guys are going to vote on to determine what's the next retro react I do. And I can tell you right now, 2 options are definitely going to be Dark Souls 1 continuing and Metal Gear Solid 1. Now, I don't know what else. We have to figure that out. We'll collectively talk about it on Sunday night and make that poll together so people can start to vote on what they want to see as the retro react starting the next week. Okay? And then probably what we'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we'll alternate. Maybe Monday we'll do like another Krabs Treasure, maybe something at the night, maybe the kitty game, and Tuesday maybe Fallout and Street Fighter. You know, we'll figure it out. So, good stuff, right? Good stuff. Now remember, this is all pushing towards new game releases. On the 21st of May, we have Hellblade 2, which I'm definitely going to be playing. There's also the remake of System Shock. I'm going to hold off on playing from that on release day only because I don't want to have too many games in the rotation. Reason being, the next day, May 22nd, is the release of Akuma and the giant rebalance in Street Fighter 6 that everyone's been waiting for. So with those 2 things coming, I know I'm going to be playing a lot more Street Fighter starting on the 22nd, probably even doing it as daytime streams to cover this content. And because of that, I don't want to start playing 10 other games as well. So 21st, Hellblade 2, 22nd, Street Fighter 6 expansion. Okay? And I will tell you this. I have plans for something special for Friday Night Fights on May 24th. Okay? I have something special planned, and that's all I'm going to say for now because I haven't set it in stone yet. But once I do, I'll let you know something special for Friday night. Then Saturday, May 25th, it is an Indies Marathon here on DSPGaming. PC-centric Indies, that is, because what I'm going to do is I am going to get my mini PC booted up, polished off, and ready to go. And I'm going to play a bunch of indie games all day based on your nominations. So how do you nominate indie games? Type !indies in the chat right now, and a link will pop up that you can nominate games, post them up. Or if you check out the community tab of this channel, about a week ago, I posted up the thread to do it. Please nominate indie games. Here's how it works. We're going to have that run for 1 more week. Okay, so at the end of next week, I'm going to sit down, count up, tally up all of the games that you nominated. And the most nominated games, meaning, let's say, I don't know, let's say Spelunky has 3 or 4 nominations, while all the other games only have 2 or 1. Well, Spelunky will make it into the final poll. We're probably going to have a final poll of maybe like 10 games. And so then you guys are going to vote for about another week in that poll on what games you want to see. And then I'm going to play those games in a marathon setting, likely an hour each, during that Saturday marathon on May 25th. Now, there'll also be some food that day. There'll probably be some booze that day. You know, it'll be a laid-back, fun environment. But it's going to be fun because this is how I get exposure to games that normally I would not play. And I have not done an Indies marathon in so long. It's been years now. So this is going to be fun to get re-exposed. And by the way, I have a mini PC that can play them now. So now there's a whole new world of content that's possible that I can be checking out instead of always be console-centric. Okay? So this should be really fun. And I hope that you'll join me for that. That's what's on the agenda for now. Okay? Keep in mind that with all that new content coming, there's other things coming as well. The possibility of maybe me checking out other games like Mario and the Thousand Year Door, or Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door remake. I believe the end of the month is the re-release of Multiverses, which I might check out. And of course, in June, we got some big stuff coming out, kind of topping off with the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC in Elden Ring. So I'm really happy that last week we beat Elden Ring and Melania, so that now we can relax from it and then go back to it in June. So we got great stuff on the horizon. I'm happy because we're heading basically into the warmer months. In fact, the temperatures here in Washington are about to heat up. We're about to have 70 and then 2 days of 80-degree weather over this weekend. So as of today, sadly for me, today's the last day I'm going to have fresh air in this office for like another 4 or 5 months. Because, yes, on my day off tomorrow, I'm installing the air conditioners. I have to. There's no way that I can be streaming in here when it's 85 degrees outside. It's going to be like 100 degrees in here. So I need the AC installed. So that's it. No more fresh air for me. But it's fine. It just kind of sucks. I really enjoy having the window open and having breezes come in here. And let me tell you, the fall through now is my favorite time of the year to stream. Not to say that I don't like hanging out with you guys during the summer, but, you know, having to have the air conditioner blasting constantly ain't exactly the epitome of what you want to do when you're gaming, you know, blasting in your face, but it's going to have to do. The good news is, unlike previous years, you should not hear the air conditioner. In fact, I'm going to be quiet for a second, and I want you guys to tell me what you hear. Ready? Nothing, right? You heard nothing. It was silent. Well, just so you know, the same PC fan is on over there that's always been on. The same office fan is on that's been on. And there's landscapers outside, and I could hear a lawnmower. But you hear nothing. These audio filters that I have installed on this microphone are working beautifully. In fact, the only downside is when I do something like this. Woo! See it cut off? At first you'll hear it and it cuts off. The filters stop high-pitched noise. Also when I whistle. See? It cuts off. That sucks, right? That sucks that it cuts off like that, because now you don't actually get to hear everything. There's some things that it limits. It's the limiters that I put on there. So it is what it is. You know, it's not perfect, but I feel like not hearing tons of atmospheric noise, like you will never hear the air conditioner going on or anything like that. I think it's just better, right? So Gaia1 says, how do you whistle without putting your fingers in your mouth? I don't even know how to whistle putting my fingers in my mouth. I never learned how to do that. I just learned how to do it with my lips. Yeah, I'll put my lips together like this. Here you go. Here you go. You can't hear it. See, it's muting it. You can't even hear my whistling. The mic mutes it. Anyway. So, yes, things are heating up here in Washington State. It's going to be basically summertime weather this weekend, so the air conditioners have to be installed. But we had a good run. I think it was, September, October? So it was like October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Wow. We went almost 8 months without the AC in. But it is what it is. Now it's time to do it so I don't sweat it out. Okay. Also, one other thing, because I want to update you guys on all the topics we've been talking about. I have one news story to get to as well today, but update on the whole YouTube debacle where the command addresses on YouTube weren't working. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me just quickly tell you in a nutshell. So, years ago, YouTube instituted something new to get to YouTube channels. instead of having to know the full name of the channel or the full actual channel address, which for some channels is so convoluted. It's not like youtube.com/DSPGaming. That's this channel. Why? Because this channel was created in 2010. It's a legacy channel, and because of that, I keep that address forever. But everyone else who created a YouTube channel as of like 10 years ago ends up with this insane convoluted address. It's like a bunch of letters, numbers, and symbols all jumbled. You'll never remember it. So you either have to bookmark it, subscribe to it, or the new thing that YouTube instituted is that you can now get @ tags, much like how you have @ tags on Twitter. Like @TheyCallMeDSP is my Twitter account. So they started doing that on YouTube. And I did it. I used it for DSP Reacts. It was youtube.com/@DSPReact. And then I just recently did it for my throwback channel, youtube.com/@DSPThrowback. Easy way to get to those channels. Well, they broke it. About a week ago, they completely broke it, where when you tried to use those addresses, it would give you a 404 error. Page does not exist. What? Why am I getting a 404 error? Right? So what happened is this broke everything. This broke chat commands. This broke references on your page and everything. So everyone's trying to click around like, what, do these channels not exist? Did YouTube delete a bunch of YouTube channels? No, it's just some dumbass who recoded everything and fucked all the links up because he's an idiot, which happens all the time on YouTube. They go to fix one thing or improve one thing, and they break 10 other things because they don't test anything. They literally have no testing phase on YouTube. They just launch changes that fuck up the whole site, and then we got to deal with it. So it was a good 3-4 days where people weren't able to reference anything with those @ commands, and people were all confused. So eventually I explained it on the podcast. It's not that the channels didn't exist. It's not that the channel was in any jeopardy or had anything wrong with it. They just broke the references. So in the meantime, I went around and I manually changed everything. So now all my links use the full channel addresses. And I know it's messy because those channel addresses are so messy looking, but it kind of needed to be done because if they break it again, I don't want to have to redo everything again. So everything now, all my commands for Nightbot in the chat and my links on the page, all are referencing the long form channel command. So that way they'll work long term. But in the meantime, YouTube slowly over the week fixed it. One day, DSP Reacts worked, but then the throwback channel still didn't work, but it returned a different error. Instead of a 404 error, now it just said, oh, the page doesn't exist. Well, it fucking does exist. You're just idiots. You know, you know what the fuck you're doing. Finally, I noticed yesterday, I tried them and they work. They all work now. So there you go. Annoying? Yes. Frustrating? Yes. Confusing? Absolutely. Should have never happened? Correct. But that's YouTube in a nutshell. They have no idea what they're doing, and they constantly screw stuff up and fix it after the fact. It's like we're the live beta testers for their mistakes. So, okay. I have one interesting story for today, and it is a follow-up to a story from earlier in the week. If you remember, earlier in the week, I had mentioned that it has been discovered that there is a game listing with the ESRB, you know how they rate games, for a new game coming up called the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. And everyone was like, what the heck is that? The Nintendo World Championships was a tournament that was held in the 1990s, where there was a special edition cartridge featuring a mashup of Tetris, Outrun, and Super Mario Bros. 1 with time trials or point challenges as the basis. So, for example, I think first it would play Tetris, and you had to get a certain amount of points. Then it would jump to being Outrun, and then you'd be driving the car, and you had to drive it for a certain amount and get a certain amount of points in distance. And then it would switch over to Mario Brothers, and you had to get a certain amount of coins. And once you did all those, you won, and it would tell you your time and your score ranking. And this was the tournament. So this is a famous thing in the 90s, and the cartridges went on to be ultra rare and end up being collector's items worth thousands of dollars. So what the heck is Nintendo World Championships NES Edition from today? Well, it's officially been announced, okay? On July 18th, Nintendo will be releasing a new edition. Just listen to this. Test your speedrunning skills in over 150 challenges from across 13 different NES games. Aim for the best time in speedrun mode, compete for a spot on the global online leaderboards in the World Championship mode, or gather up to 8 players for a local party mode. What games are included in this new version? Just listen to this. Balloon Hunt. Well, I got it wrong already. Let's try that. Hold on. I completely botched that. I apologize. I'm getting old. I can't read. I'm senile. I have hair growing out of my ears. My balls hang down to my knees and clack together like one of those perpetual motion machines. So give me a second here. I got to read that again. I actually got the first game wrong. Let's try that again. You ready? Games included are Balloon Fight, not Hunt, Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, the original Metroid, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels, meaning all of the classic Super Mario Brothers games are in it, plus The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So, you want to talk about crazy variety. I mean, that's some of the most iconic early NES games, right? Now, notably missing, no Tetris and no Outrun, and I'm going to guess that's because actually, for those people who don't know, those were third-party games. Like Tetris actually was never an officially, like, owned Nintendo franchise. In fact, there was a big controversy about it, of who owned the rights to Tetris. And remember, there was actually one company who thought they owned the rights, so they made their own version of Tetris versus the other version. And there's two versions of Tetris you could play on NES. Anyway, this sounds fun to me. Like, this sounds something like could be interesting for challenging like late night streams, trying to do these different runs. So they're saying there's 115 challenges, you know, or 150 challenges, speed running, or trying to actually do the tournament, which is basically what it was in the 90s. Get the best score, the best time, and compete against people online. So that sounds fun to me. Now, is that good for long term? Probably not. But I could definitely see a few streams coming out of that could be pretty interesting. All right. However, there is one little thing that we have to talk about, and that would be the price. Okay. First of all, let me put it on my calendar. This is July 18th. Shit. Okay. The price. All right. If you want the physical version of the game, which apparently comes with a whole bunch of special stuff, it even comes with like a gold replica cartridge, which is supposed to be a replica of similar to what the original game looked like when you know, back in the day for the tournaments. It's $59.99, $60. Okay? But most people are probably just going to get the digital version, and the digital version is $29.99. $30 to play basically a hacked ROM version of a bunch of classic games that's set up for speed running and challenges. I mean, do you think there is... I can't stop burping right now. Do you think that that's a good value? For me, I mean, there's nostalgia involved. There's a factor of, like, challenge involved. I think it's neat. This is something that I would be interested in doing. Like, I would like to buy this game and do some streams of it. But the question is, are people going to actually care? Would people show up to those streams and hang out and engage and get excited if I can beat the challenges or not? And will there be support for those streams? You know, I'm just curious. Would people actually show up? Or is this something that's just for me, but not for the audience, right? People always say to me, try different stuff. This is something I would actually be genuinely interested in doing that's completely outside of the normal realm of what I do. Okay? So let me know what you think. Some people in chat are saying no. Others are saying wait for a sale, right? But some people are saying, no, those are legendary games, right? So, and some people are saying it seems reasonable. So, I don't know. It sounds like there's a mixed reaction, which is kind of what I figured would happen. Here's the thing, like, when I play classic games, there's some people who have that same nostalgia factor as me. They like seeing me go back and play classic games and challenging games and fun games. In this case, this is the literal challenge runs, right? This is not just, oh, just play the game. This is challenge runs in said games to make them difficult. So you always said, will you ever do a speed run? Would you ever do a special run? That's literally the purpose of this game. So that could be something new and different for my content. If that works, I could end up doing other things like that, you know? So I'm interested in it. I put it on the schedule. Let's reassess in July when it's coming out, July 18th, and see if you guys are interested or not. Okay? Cool. All right, guys, guess what? that is all I got for today. Luckily, today we don't have an insane amount of bad news. I mean, we had so much ridiculous bad game news this week between the Helldivers 2 fiasco, which thankfully resolved. But then we had all the crazy layoffs over at Xbox. Like, what's going on? I'm just happy that today we can have a normal day where we don't have to do doom and gloom shit on the news, right? So, thank you for hanging out. Let's do shout-outs, shall we? Let's get to shout-outs. Okay. So we start off today. Excuse me. We start off today with Jade re-upping his membership for 35 months as an Ultra member. Thank you so much, Jade, for your ongoing support of the channel. Now, I'll say this. Something very exciting is about to happen. Some people are about to hit their 3-year anniversary as a member here on DSPGaming. That's right, 36 months. And when you hit that, there will be a brand new Diamond Crown badge. All right, I am excited for this. I want to see it in action. I think it's going to stand out. People are going to like it. That is the highest level of membership reward that I have right now. Now, since it looks like long-term I'm probably staying on YouTube, you know, nothing has really happened negatively here in the 3 years I've been streaming, I'm probably going to come up with others. And they already have a 4-year and 5-year badge availability. So probably I'll see about designing new badges for next year's anniversary. So thank you to the longest running supporters here on the channel. I'm curious when it will actually kick in. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember exactly the date. I want to say it's like May 8th, which is today, but I'm not exactly sure. I know I can't remember the infamous day when I had enough with Twitch. I said, screw this. I'm moving back over to YouTube because I've had enough of their unprofessionalism. And I remember when it happened, I was playing Returnal. And keep in mind, I had already been deactivated from the partner program, but I was still trying to make a living streaming over there, right? I was reliant solely on tips. And I'm streaming Returnal, and they suspend my account. For what? Oh, you used hateful slurs. No, I didn't. Then they looked back at the footage and said, oh, he didn't. And then they unsuspended it hours later. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So you suspend my channel without even confirming that I did anything wrong. And then they actually apologized. They actually wrote an apology in the message to me saying, we are sorry that we misidentified your content as harmful. And then they restored the stream. I said, I'm not staying there anymore. I'm done. I'm not going to be on a site that any moron can false report me for something I literally didn't do. And those morons will suspend my account for hours because they don't even review the footage. They can go fuck themselves. And I'm going to go somewhere that's more professional than that. And I came over to YouTube. I don't have to deal with that shit over here. You know, I just don't. It's not the same. Over there, it's just like a clown show. All right. So I'm happy to be here on YouTube for 3 years now. Yes, for my gaming content, absolutely. This is where I'm going to stay for streaming. Okay? Just so you guys know. So, if you've been holding off for 3 years, hoping that eventually I go back to Twitch, I'm not going back to Twitch. It's time to, if you want to support this channel. If any of you just happen to be watching for 36 straight months, and you were just holding off to see if maybe I would go back to Twitch, I think it's safe to say I'm probably not going back at this point. In fact, it's determined I'm not. So, there you go. Anyway, I'm excited to see when this 3-year anniversary is hitting for some people. Right now, no one. We have a few people who are close, like 35 or 34 months, but no one at 36 yet. I know there's people that day one became members, so we just have to see when they come by and see their new, their new crowns. So that's coming. All right. Anyway, all right. So, thank you guys. Look at this. Look at this super chat. This is so ridiculous. I will respond to that because I'm doing shout outs. So let me get to it and I will respond to that because this is ridiculous. I've had enough at this point. All right. Have I not made it clear that I want absolutely positively nothing to do whatsoever with detractor content? Have I not said this? How many times have I said this? Is this not the broken record, right? I literally come here on my podcast over and over and I say, I want nothing to do with detractors or their content. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be involved in it. I'm not involved in it. I actively ignore it. Correct? Have I not said this over and over and over here on this channel, publicly to all of you, right? My stance has not changed, all right? So I don't care about this nonsense going on outside. I'll get to it because that was a super chat. I will directly respond to it now because we'll have time to respond to it. This would be the appropriate time to respond to it. I will respond to it in a minute when it pops up, all right? Let's go through the order, the proper order here. Okay, so no worries. You're going to get your answer. You're going to get your attention this morning, and then we're going to move on from it, and I'm going to wipe my hands of this nonsense, okay? Okay. Cool. Tanya Raven, thank you for the first super chat of the day. Said, crab people, look like crabs, talk like people, crab people. Thank you, Tanya. She didn't say all that. She just said crab people, but that's a South Park reference. There you go. Cool. Lord Licorice did a $7 super chat. I don't even understand what this means. Maybe you guys can explain this to me. Again, another thing just goes right over my head. Just look at this. PPP of Kino Casino gave you a lot of compliments for your review of Nick Rakita. Did you see any clips of that? I love your show, by the way. Who is PPP? What is Kino Casino? I assume when you say I got compliments for my review of Nick Rakita, you're talking about the clip that was submitted to my React show on Sunday, where I honestly reacted to what I was seeing. And yes, I was just as appalled as everybody else at the behavior that we saw in that clip, right? But no, I did not see any clips of anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never heard of it. But the only reason that I'm kind of trying to figure out what this is, there's a ton of comments on the video from, they're saying, oh, Kino Casino. Yeah, Kino Casino. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what that means. So, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Okay? So, I don't know who PPP is. Never heard of him. I don't know what Kino Casino is. Never heard of it. Thank you for the super chat. I was just being honest. You know, and again, what you have to understand is when someone submits a clip, I have to respond honestly to the clip I'm watching. It very well could be that that clip that was submitted is very not representative of everything that Nick Rakita puts out. I don't know. I don't watch his content, right? I don't care to either. I'm not going to go do hours of research to just watch one clip on my clip show. So I was just reacting honestly to what I saw. And, you know, if someone liked the response, I guess thanks. I'm glad. And thank you for the super chat. I don't know what else to say, though, about it, because I don't know anything about it. Nor did it really give me any traction or anything. The video doesn't even have 300 views. You know, it's the same as any other React video for me. No big deal. That was the subject matter. But, okay. I'm glad that they enjoyed it. No, I saw 0 clips of it. I didn't hear anything of it besides the comments that you guys left on the video. That's it. But that's the kind of content I put out on the React channel all the time. That's not just, you know, representative of me just talking about one guy. That's me, you know, that's what any clip that's submitted, I'm honest and stuff. So, okay. It's another lolcow podcast. Oh, boy. We need more of those, that's for sure. We don't have enough lolcow podcasts. Anyway, all right, let's continue. Jordan, with a $2 super chat, says, anxiety sucks, chat. I think anxiety sucks for everyone. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I'll have anxiety and I feel awful about something, or, you know, I feel nervous about something coming up, and it makes me feel like shit. So I agree with you there. Anxiety does suck. Hopefully you feel better. I'm sorry about whatever's causing you anxiety there, Jordan. Swagonito, 34 months as a member, and says 36 months, I'm almost there. Yeah, 2 more months, you should have your diamond crown. So thank you, Swagonito. And again, I'm sure there's a few people who are getting very close, okay? Now, here we go. Now I will address this, okay? Happy Gamer Studios did a $10 super chat, all right? I'm just going to read this word for word, and then I'm going to give you my honest response to it, okay? Hi, Phil. Love the show. You're actively avoiding me after DMCA striking my game, The Detractor, on Steam. Excuse me. I thought you said your work is okay to use if it's transformative. Don't be a coward. Thanks, Happy Face. Oh my God. You fucking people. I swear to God, you fucking people never learn. Right? Have I not said 1 zillion times on this show and in my content, I want nothing to do with you, your content, your trolling, your bullshit, whatever it may be. I don't want to be pulled into your vortex of nonsense, okay? I have nothing to do with anything you're talking about. Zero. Nothing to do with it whatsoever. What I've seen is there's people coming on in the last week saying there's a game that you're in and it's a detractor game. And what do you think about that? I don't care. I ignore it. I have nothing to fucking do with it. I have more things to do in my life. I'm so busy. I don't have time to worry about your dumb shit. You are the least important thing to me on this fucking planet. I don't want to know about what so-and-so said in a video, what documentary is coming out, what video game that makes fun of me is coming out. No one with a brain fucking cares. It's the same circle-jerking, mouth-drooling, mentally challenged group of people who like that shit. No one who's normal and has an actual life outside of sitting in front of their fucking computers all day cares about that shit. Do you understand me? So I want nothing to do with it. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't strike anything. I didn't do anything. I want you to take your super chat and I want you to shove it up your ass. Okay? I'm done being involved with the tractor shit. I've told you this a million times. It's not me. Here's what you really need to do. Look at your community of fucking really antisocial losers and wonder why they keep striking each other's content down. I said it. I just did it in February. I did the usual annual video. I don't strike stuff. I'm not involved. So why the fuck do you keep bringing it up and making accusations and content? I have literally never been fucking involved in any of this, ever. This is your own community striking each other down for attention. And it seems to fucking work because look what's going on now, right? Here's what you do. If you get any kind of a DMCA takedown or a strike from me, you know it's not me because I don't do them. I never have. I don't care. I just sit here playing games all fucking day. All right? I just don't want to have anything to do with you. So stop bringing me up. You know how abusable DMCA is. How many people have been taken down falsely with basic information about me? My name, my address, my phone number, and an email address is apparently enough for impersonation for DMCA takedowns. I don't stand for it. I have publicly said over and over and over, I don't want anyone taking anything down in my name, but I'm not involved in it. And every single time that this process happens, I'm like, I can't do anything about it. I've literally contacted YouTube. I've contacted Twitter. They don't care. You want to know what their attitude is? Get a lawyer. That's what their attitude is. Not to me. To you, the people who are having your content taken down, that's what I've been directly told. Tell them to get a lawyer and seek legal help with it because you can't help them if you didn't do the takedown. So there you go. Get a lawyer, contact the appropriate party, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Steam, whatever the fuck it is, and say, I think this is DMCA takedown's false. I want it removed. And they should. All right? But I'm not involved in this. I have nothing whatsoever to do with it. Stop bothering me about it. Really, at this point, I've had fucking enough. To this point, I'm not even gonna address it anymore. If I see a super chat, I'm just gonna ban you fucking outright because it's never me. Do you understand? It's literally never me. I tried ignoring it all fucking week. All right? All week. And you guys fucking keep bothering me. All right? I'm done with it. Here's what you do. You want to know the truth? Here's what you do. Leave the detractor communities because it's obvious they don't care about abiding by the law. They literally strike each other down in every way, shape, and form to cause more drama. Why? Because they're just trolls who want attention. So every time that you've done this and publicly addressed it, all right, you've given them exactly what they want by freaking out, saying, Phil took down my game. I didn't. So you created a situation that gave them the attention they wanted. You fed the trolls, and now guess what? They're just going to keep doing it over and over because you gave them what they want. What's hilarious is you're obviously a troll if you made a game that's negative about me, but you don't even understand how fucking trolling works. You're an idiot. Oh my God. Here, are you ready? Here is your official statement. I, Phil Burnell, on this day of May 8th, 2024, once again publicly state, I have not issued any DMCA takedowns against any videos, any tweets, any games, or any content on the internet. I don't know who's doing it, but if someone has done it, they've done it in my name, which is against the law. It is fraud, and these should not be taken seriously. However, it seems that companies don't have any safeguards set up for this level of impersonation, and they don't care. I've been outright told by companies like YouTube that the only way to solve it is to get a lawyer. So I'm sorry it's happening, but it's not me. Leave me alone. Have a nice day. There you go. I'm done with it. Do not bring it up in my chat again. It is against the rules to bring up detractor content in my chat, so don't fucking bother me again. You understand? I'm laying down the law on this bullshit. I've had enough. Like, you really start to piss me off when I have to waste a segment on my podcast about your bullshit because you're an idiot who made a negative game and you're surprised that other negative people are fucking with you. Yes, because you're an idiot. Because you made a negative game, so people are going to fuck with you. They already have on people's YouTube channels and Twitter. Why wouldn't they fuck with you with the game? Are you stupid? Yes. Now deal with your stupidity and leave me the fuck alone. Okay. Back to normalcy now, everyone. Let's get back on track. Chill Vibes became a member this morning and says, relax your shoulders, Phil. You're right. I got upset. I should relax my shoulders, okay? I should. Oh my God. Happy Gamer Studios. I don't know what email you're talking about. Go fuck yourself. Enjoy your band. Don't come back. They're still talking in my chat. Well, can you write me an email? No, you can eat my ass. That's what you can do. You can eat directly out of my butthole. I'll mail you the spoon. Okay. Holezilla did a super chat and says, show your belly button. No, absolutely not. I'm not a Twitch thought. I'm not going to show you my belly button. But thank you for the super chat. Okay. On the YouTube side, on the tips side of things, okay? I received a $10 tip from Gothy. Let's thank you, Gothy, for a $10 tip. Excuse me. Whoa, that was a choppy animation. Why is it so choppy? So let's get that on the leaderboard and let's see what Gothy has to say. You feel like clothes aren't as durable as they used to be. I'm going through socks like toilet paper because they either have holes in them or they lose their elasticity. Socks I've always had problems with in my life. Now, it could be that I have giant feet. That's the problem, because I do. But I've always had socks that they wear out like crazy. Even when you buy better socks. You know, I'm not talking about, oh, go buy the cheap ones at the discount store or whatever. I'm talking about you're buying like name brand socks. You know, you go to a department store. I've had Polo and stuff like that. And even those, they wear out relatively fast. I couldn't explain that. Other clothes, it depends on the quality, honestly. Okay, so for example, if you go to Old Navy and you buy something at Old Navy, you can't expect it to last more than about an hour after you first wear it. And I stand by that statement. Old Navy clothes are terrible. They're some of the lowest grade quality clothes you can buy. And it's funny because they're not necessarily cheap unless you go when there's a really big sale. But they are awful. They're like bottom end. They fall apart. They unravel. Things fall off of them. They stretch out. They're trash, right? What it is you have to get at least a mid-range of clothing, which is going to cost you a little more. If you get high-end clothing, all right, you'll get better quality. Usually. Not always, but usually you'll get things like tougher seams, more dependable stretchiness when it comes to like elasticity and like a waistband or something like that. But not necessarily always. Sometimes you get ripped off. You're paying for a designer piece of clothing just because of the name on it rather than the quality of the clothing, right? What I would recommend, this is what I do. I've been talking about this recently. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. This is an Izod shirt. It's a name brand designer shirt, all right? A year or two ago, this was being sold in stores for like $70, okay? Guess how much I paid for this shirt? $11. Why? Because you can go to those stores, they have different names, secondhand stores, thrift stores, or one of those stores that resells stuff that's unsold. Marshall's, Burlington, Ross, right? I keep thinking of other ones. There's a few others like that too. Okay. TJ Maxx, that's another one, right? So these are good clothes. All of it, sometimes they have a small defect. Most of the time you don't even notice it. Okay. Or for some reason, it just went unsold. Okay. So if you go to those stores and you go through their stuff, it's literally name brand stuff. You know, it's good quality stuff. And that's how I got all these shirts for the summer. A $70 designer shirt being sold for $11, brand new, unused. And this is better quality. Like, seriously, like, I've noticed the stuff that's more, you know, the recognizable names, the higher end stuff is better quality. It doesn't just fall apart like some of the cheap stuff, you know? You go to the discount store like Walmart, you're going to get Walmart quality clothing that falls apart in 10 seconds. Or you're going to, you know, fucking Old Navy, you might as well just throw it out before you leave the store. But if you get name brand stuff, it's better, but you don't want to pay. I do not ever recommend you get this stuff full price. I mean, would you pay $70 for this shirt? It's nice. Is it a $70 fucking investment? No. Ridiculous. Right? So, yeah, I definitely would not be getting that crazy stuff. Anyway, that's my recommendation. Thank you for the first tip of the day. Okay. I received a $5 tip. Someone says, this is a pretty frustrating day for me. I want to unwind and enjoy the rest of it, but I have 3 hours left at my job. Well, sorry to hear that. I hope that that 3 hours go by quickly and that you can relax and have a good rest of your day after. I don't know who this is from because there's no name on it. But whoever this anonymous $5 tipper is, I thank you for that very much. I wish you the best. I hope you get through your day quickly. Excuse me. Okay. Well, folks, we've gotten through all the shout-outs so far. If any more contributions come in, I will shout them out. All right? But in the meantime, we have a little bit of extra time to talk. Oh, Gothy Senpai says, that makes sense, but I'm not shopping at Goodwill. I've never been to Goodwill. There's actually a store nearby. It's called Plato's Closet. Now, I don't know if it's a local chain or whatever, but they basically what you do is people bring in clothes that are either almost completely unused or completely unused, but for whatever reason, they couldn't return it to the store, and they sell it to this store, and this store, like, will wash and clean the clothes, and then you basically, they get sold as new. Sometimes they have the original tags from the store on them, so you know they were never worn, and I buy a lot of stuff there for very cheap, you know, and they have good sales and stuff, too. I would recommend something like that. If there's something like that near you, because I don't know if that's a local thing or not. Yeah. But I've never been to Goodwill. Goodwill probably will just take anything, right? And in that case, you probably don't want to be buying something that is, you know, the seam's ripped, it has a big stain or something. You want something better than that. So, okay. All right. So we're good, right? Now let's get to open Q&A. If you guys tag me in the chat, we will talk. Okay, let's see what people want to talk about. I have no enemies says excellent progress with Geef last night. Wondering when you hit master with him, will you focus on Akuma? Well, yeah, when Akuma comes out, number one, yes, I'm going to play Akuma, but also you have to understand they're rebalancing the game. I'm going to want to play with all of my characters because I'm going to want to see how all those characters have changed. If they're better or worse, you know, we have to relearn properties. So this is going to be like a renaissance for Street Fighter 6 when the patch comes out because everyone's going to be playing it again to relearn everything. So I'm excited for that. It's not just going to be Akuma. Yes, I'm trying Akuma, but I'm going to be trying other characters too. All my other characters to learn the changes. Jade, no door guide today. Cool. Cool. Excellent. Glad to hear that. I hope things are all right then. No loud noises for you today. Am I ready for the Multiverses relaunch on May 28th? Asked Retro Parasite. I want to try it. You know, keep in mind, I dropped off from playing it because the audience got really tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And I liked it more than the audience. So I totally stopped playing it. And at this point, I want to try it again, see what's new, what they've added, how it's changed. But I'm not convinced that it's going to catch on with the audience again, you know, especially now because I'll also be playing Street Fighter 6. But I'll give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a try. Have I seen that they're saying Mortal Kombat 1 is having a comeback and it's fixed? They fixed the game. There's nothing to fix unless they redesign the game from the ground up. The gameplay sucks. It's not just, oh, the netcode's bad, because it was. I don't know if that's better. No, the gameplay elements are terrible. The game plays horribly. They took out the elements of the game that made it better in 11 and went 5 steps backwards to make it a high-low mix-up with assist in the middle of a combo game. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. It's slower paced than previous Mortal Kombats. It's just boring. It's not a good game. That's why I don't like it. It has nothing to do with, you know, oh, they can fix it with a patch. There's nothing to fix. The game is badly designed. Again, I really feel like they dialed that one in, right? They really didn't put a lot of effort into it. They just wanted another fighting game out there because they didn't have an Injustice this time. Remember, they were alternating between Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat Injustice, Mortal Kombat. Oh shit, we don't have Injustice. Just pump out another Mortal Kombat. So there's nothing to fix. I don't care if they think it's better. The game stinks. I'm not playing it. Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 are far superior to Mortal Kombat 1, just in their innate design and game engines. I'm not going to be playing Mortal Kombat again. Is Jasper Kitty excited for the Kitty game on Friday's stream? Asked IGs. I'm fairly certain that Jasper's not consciously aware of video games or what they are. But he did react when I played Stray. He actually did look at the screen and paw it and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. We have to test it out on Friday and go from there. Big Fridge says it looked like Tommy Vercetti today. Well, there you go. Thank you very much. But that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to look like Tommy Vercetti every day, actually. It's the actual look I'm going for. Do I have a preferred Metal Slug game? You know, I don't really... It's hard to discern between them. The first one was purely fighting the Nazis, right? And then the aliens at some point got involved in like 2 or 3, right? And then it just went off the rails, and I don't really remember them. They're good games. I can't really discern between them in my head. Doesn't Jasper watch TV? Asked Ragonito. I'm not actively. If my wife and I are watching something, sometimes he'll glance at the TV, but he doesn't just sit there and watch it with us. No. Cats are more aware than us. They know exactly what's going on. Oh, I'm not saying that cats don't know what's going on. They just don't care, right? They just don't give a crap about 90% of the stuff in their environment. And then when they're important, when they're focused on something, they're hyper focused on that one thing, right? Gotti Senpai says, yes, my cat did the same. He loved me playing Stray. Yeah, Jasper was here, watched me play Stray, and sometimes he would jump up and paw the TV and stuff like that. I remember. Any more TV or movie reviews coming soon? Is not The Boys coming back in June? I think it is, correct? And if it does come back, I will probably watch it and do a review of it. In fact, I'll probably do, just like I did with Fallout, I'll probably do a late night live review stream of the new Boys season. Because I want to say, I'm trying to remember how much of The Boys I watched, because I was watching it slowly over the course of like a couple of years. I think I've seen at least the first 2 to 3 seasons. How many seasons are there of it? I saw at least the first 2. I might have seen the whole third. I watch it slowly and casually. I haven't binge watched it. So likely what I'll do, I'll try to finish. Okay, it's 3, so I probably have seen 2. I don't think I saw season. I'll probably, within now and when the new show comes out in a month or so, I'll probably watch season 3, and then when a new season comes out, I'll probably watch it, and I'll do a late night live review for you guys. Just like we did with Fallout. And we'll have the first hour, I'll summarize, I'll talk about the plot points and what I think. And then in the second hour, we'll do interactive stuff. Probably. Yes, I played Pac-Man World Repack. Full playthrough is here on the channel. Doesn't make sense. Do I like being known as a tough guy in the FGC days? There was no such thing as a tough guy in the FGC. We were playing video games. No one was actually going to a Street Fighter tournament and beating each other up. It was a bunch of games. There was a ton of shit talking. Okay? But I think some people sadly took it too far. I was one of them. Like, I would shit talk people in the early days of Street Fighter, like the early 2000s. I was an asshole. I was constantly ragging on people, being a dick online and stuff. Like, I was known for it. And like I said, we're on the mid-2000s. When I actually started placing and doing well in tournaments, I kind of regretted my time as being that, because I was like, you know, I feel like it was harmful overall. Like, I thought, oh, no harm done. I'll talk shit. This will get people hyped for events. People will show up. They'll want to see grudge matches or whatever. Like, that was the point. But then people, like, genuinely, I found out, started to be really angry with me because of the stuff that I would say online. Like, damn, I didn't think people took it seriously. I guess they do. And then, like I said, later on, when I became good at fighting games, actually, in the mid-2000s, and I was doing well at Super Turbo and placing at Evo, I was like, so now I kind of regret being an asshole, you know? But you don't really get it until you've been to a point that's better than that. You know what I'm saying? It very well could have been I never did anything in Street Fighter ever, and so I was just always a shit-talking asshole, and that was my whole run. But it just so happens I actually got good at one point. Not only was I placing, but I was running tournaments myself. I became a respected tournament organizer on the East Coast, running tons of tournaments and stuff. So, yeah, but, it's about what they say. Hindsight's 20/20. When I was a young kid in my early 20s, I didn't think there was any harm to online shit-talking. I thought it was a joke. I was like, why do people take this shit seriously? They're so dumb. They think because you're sitting on a forum or sitting in an IRC chat room talking shit that someone's, like, serious about, like, fighting or something. Like, what are you, dumb? I guess so, because people actually took it seriously and thought that, like, people were going to fight. Like, no. There's never going to be a giant fight where I was going to go to a tournament and beat people up, or they were going to beat me up. That wasn't going to happen. What do you think? We want to go to jail? We're stupid? No. Jade, you're just going to chat today? That's all good, man. Just hang out. It's all good. See, here's the problem with old school Street Fighter, all right? In the 90s, everyone played Street Fighter on cabinets, and everyone played the same version of the game. So arguably, if you went to a tournament and you won, you were the best. But then what happened in the 2000s was that there was a conversion of all the competitive Street Fighter games to consoles. And when this happened, sadly, there was no real consensus on what was the best version of certain games. And the game that I was best at, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, never had a good console conversion that was accurate to the arcade. I mean, no exaggeration. There was PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2 from an early collection, and then I want to say there was a second collection later on that also was PS2, and then there was the Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition. So just within the 2000s, when I was attending tournaments for Super Turbo, you could play on any of 5 different versions of the game. And all of them played slightly differently, different tweaks, different, damage outputs, different hitboxes. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, no one could agree what was the right version. So you go to a tournament, it's on PS1, someone wins it. Oh, that doesn't count. That's PS1. Okay. Go to a tournament, that was Dreamcast. Oh, it doesn't count, that's Dreamcast. Well, what does count? When does it actually count? Because I'm not running the tournaments. I'm not picking the versions of the games that are played. I mean, fuck, Evo staff was. Evo was the one that picked the PS1 version of Super Turbo, right? So how are the players responsible if that's an inferior version? I don't see the point. But that's what every year it was a new excuse. Oh, you see, that's not the right version. Oh, you see, that's not the right version. Meanwhile, people had kind of accepted the versions of games like Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Like, those were commonly accepted as those are the versions you play in tournament. It was only Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo that had this weird issue that basically there's no version that's right. Okay? And every time it seems like someone would accept the new version, and then I would play that version, I would do well in it, someone else would debunk it. Oh, no, that version sucks because I still remember. So there's a version of Super Turbo that came out. Everyone liked it. I think it was from like Capcom Classics Collection 2 or something like that it was called. So we start playing. I'm dominating in it in all tournaments. And then I think it was, I forget who it was, but someone did frame testing and says, oh, look, there's input delay, so this is no good. And it's like, well, then what the fuck are we going to play? Are we ever going to settle on a version? And actually, no, because then after that, then remember, there was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, and everyone played that for a few years. You said, oh, that sucks. That's terrible. We can't play that anymore, right? And then, I guess now, for Super Turbo, all they do is they emulate it. They run it on PC emulated. And that's how they play it now, because that wasn't viable back then. Now it's viable, right? So I guess that's the answer now. But it's funny because you say, well, weren't you top 3? Well, yes. Technically, if you look at statistics and rankings, one Evo, I got 4th place, and the top 3 placers were from Japan. So technically, yes, I was the best American in Super Turbo that year. Oh, but that was PS1 version. That doesn't count. Okay, the next year, there was another version. And I literally went to all the qualifying tournaments. I won Evo East, and I was placing at all the qualifying tournaments. Oh, but that's Hyper Street Fighter 2. That's not full Super Turbo. That doesn't count. Okay, the next year, we picked the next version of Super Turbo. I'm winning. I won Evo East again. I'm going to other tournaments. I'm beating everyone. That year, 2007, I went to all the qualifying tournaments for Evo, and I either won or placed at most of them, to the point where I had like 5 spots at Evo. Because the way it worked is you would go to a qualifier tournament to get your spot at Evo. I had 5 fucking spots at Evo. So they had to basically give my spots away to people I beat in the tournaments because I had too many spots. Okay? But no one will talk about that, because that doesn't matter, because that was also a bad version of Super Turbo. You know, but I'm only playing what the tournament organizers are picking. So I'm sorry that people want to fucking have problems with this shit. I didn't run the tournament scene. Complained to Evo staff that they kept picking bad versions of Super Turbo and wouldn't get the arcade version. That's not my fault. That's their fault, right? But anyway, can you argue that I was one of the best at Super Turbo in the United States at one point? Yes, you can. Mid-2000s, absolutely. I was at the top of my game, and I was one of the best in the United States. Could it ever be said I was the best? There's no way to fucking tell. There's literally no way to tell, because everyone just complained about every tournament result at the time and said none of them counted. So I guess nothing counted for the entire middle 2000s. No one could play Super Turbo. There you go. And then when HD Remix came out, that also sucked. So that doesn't count either, that era. Nothing counts, ever. Nothing counted until I retired. When I retired from competitive play, that's when things started to count, apparently. That's how it works. So anytime that I did well, never counts. But if I wasn't at a tournament, or I stopped playing, that all officially counts. As long as my name's not in the results, that's official. It's good stuff. Okay, so there you go. There's your answer. Mr. Game Master, thank you for a super chat. I tried Lost Odyssey last night. It's amazing. I agree. Lost Odyssey was what Final Fantasy 13 should have been. It plays like a classic RPG. It had great visuals for the time, great music, and really challenging gameplay. If you like turn-based JRPGs, it's arguably one of the best I've ever played to this day. It's that good. Yeah, I remember that. So that year there was Evo East, there was Midwest Champions, there was Evo North, like North. I think it was Evo North, Evo East, Evo West, Evo South, and I want to say there was like a 5th. I could be wrong. But basically, I went to all of them. And I literally earned a spot at Evo at every single tournament. I didn't win them all. I won Evo East. And I think I won 2 of them, if I remember correctly. Or I got close. I know I lost an Evo North because it was on cabinet. And there was something that happened that that threw me off. I don't know if that version was running differently than what I was used to. Because I remember something was off. I still did all right. I didn't do great. But I remember I went Evo East and even Evo West. Evo West, that was the year I beat Mike Watson. I beat a ton of people that year. I can't remember who else I beat that year. But I beat a ton of people in 2007. I think I beat Valle that year. I think that was the year I beat Watson and Valle, if I remember correctly. Because Valle and I are 1-1. Can't remember. I lose track. But yeah, like I went to Evo West, the land of the best Super Turbo players in the world. And I made top 8. I think I made top 5 in the tournament. And I earned a spot at Evo from Evo West, even though I already had one because I won Evo East. I'm pretty sure I think I won Evo East and I either placed or won Evo South in Super Turbo. And then Evo North, I basically jobbed because it was on arcade cabinet and I wasn't used to it and I made mistakes and screwed up. And the Evo West was on console and I did well. You know? But again, that never happened. It never counted, right? It's like, okay, whatever you say. Do I think Evo should be an American-only tournament? No, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Let a true warrior accepts all challengers. There's no exceptions to the rule. There's no criteria. If someone wants to step up, challenge, accept that challenge. Take them on, right? All comers. Doesn't matter what country you're from. I'll whoop your ass anywhere. Right? That's right. Excuse me. Game Pass is not a sustainable model. Why are we talking about Game Pass? What does it have to do with our discussion? Who derailed the chat to talk about Game Pass? What are you talking about? Jordan, thank you for another super chat. He says, dinner is in 2 hours. Help me get through this, brothers. All right. Thank you, Jordan, for the super chat. No, actually, Leonardo, it's a little different. He says, isn't the difference between console arcade cabinets similar to offline online tournaments? There's different things you can get away with and different routes to winning with different versions. Honestly, online and offline, the reason is simply put because of dropped inputs and input delay. If you're talking different versions of games, you're talking hitboxes have changed, damage output changes. It's definitely different. It's a different reasoning. It would be like, I don't even know how to explain it because it's very hard. I can't even think that there's a modern comparison for this. You know? Like back in the day, imagine playing, you've seen the arcade version of a Street Fighter game, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now imagine playing it on Super Nintendo, right? Arguably they're the same game, but dude, they're not. It's the same characters, it's the same special moves, but the size of the characters is different. The hitboxes, how you hit are different. The damage and comboing is different, right? They tried to make the same game, but it's definitely different, right? So yeah. Now, the differences become less obvious when the consoles got better. You know, the PS1, I'm trying to think about the PS1 version, the Dreamcast version, the two PS2 versions and whatever. They looked closer to the arcade version, but they definitely all had differences, you know? So, it's not even, because that's the thing, like, the difference here is, when you're playing Street Fighter 6 offline and online, at least you're playing Street Fighter 6. It's the same game. The problem is the timing and dropped inputs. That's a big issue, correct? When you're talking about the ports of games back then, you could even be talking about complete gameplay changes and issues. Imagine if, when you play Street Fighter 6 online, Blanca can do a Blanca ball from full screen that juggles you. But if you play it offline, Blanca can still do that Blanca ball, but it doesn't juggle you. What? But it's supposed to be the same game. Do you see what I'm saying? So, whenever they chose, and I say they, because it wasn't me, it wasn't the players, it was the tournament organizers, the Evo organizers. Whenever they chose to run a different version of Super Turbo every year, the whole game changed again. Now you got to practice on this new version. You got to learn the differences between the versions. What combos work, what doesn't work, what hitboxes work, what doesn't work, what's the timing changes. And you'd have to memorize all of that and learn it all again. The old school Super Turbo players who played it back in the day in arcades didn't like this. They were like, no, we should just be playing the arcade version, which I kind of agree with, but no one wanted to lug arcade cabinets around, and there was no emulation back then to do it properly. So it was just play the console version or you don't get Super Turbo this year. So every year we were forced to relearn a new version of Super Turbo, and some people would put up with it like me, and others would just stand there and whine and complain, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you, you know? Either you deal with it or you don't. I dealt with it, you know? A lot of the OGs did not want to deal with it. They wanted to whine and complain that the version sucked. Big Fridge did a super chat. Sounds like a conspiracy to keep you out. Why? There's no conspiracy to keep me out. I've already explained to you how much that the prominent people in charge in the West Coast did not like me. I was the whistleblower. I was the guy who would expose them for their fucking hypocrisy and their blatant corruption. over and over and over, I would literally expose it over and over, and they just kept brushing me under the rug because they didn't like that. Now, one thing they couldn't do is basically hide my skill in Street Fighter. So if I went to a tournament and won, there's nothing they can fucking do about that, right? What they can do is they can edit my posts. They can say that, you know, hide my shit that I'm saying about their fucking netcode and talk about corruption at B5 and shit. They can hide all that, all right? But they can't hide when I go to a tournament and I beat everybody. So then what's next, right? Oh, well, let's just say this version's bad. Then this version's bad. Then this version's bad. Then this version's bad. Yeah, but Phil went and beat everyone at every version for 3-4 straight years. At some point, your excuse doesn't hold water anymore, right? So then what happened was I retired. I stopped competitively playing around 2007. I decided I was going to become a YouTuber. Now, I did keep playing Street Fighter for some extent, but I didn't really play it to that capacity anymore, and I didn't really care as much about competitive play. As you know, I completely stopped playing competitively around 2011, 2012. I just stopped going to tournaments. I didn't care anymore. And so what's happened is, hey, we don't like Phil. He's a running meme that we don't like him on the internet. So we're just going to pretend like none of his tournament results ever happened. Or we'll just say that there's excuses for each and every one that they didn't count, even though that's impossible. You would have to erase 4 years of tournament history to say that. So you're saying for 4 years, no tournaments ever held in Super Turbo counted, you know, just because I did good? What the fuck are you talking about, right? But that's the, oh no. And again, then when you face them with that evidence, then they go to something else. Oh, but what about this over here? No, no, no. We're not done talking about this, you fucking buffoon. I've just disproven everything you said about my history in Street Fighter by just looking at tournament results. So you can fuck off. No one cares about anything else you're about to say because you've already proven you're an idiot, right? But that's it. They don't care. These are circle-jerking communities of people who only care about their own narrative that they've created because they don't like me, you know? Okay. I don't even know what this means. I'm just going to ignore it. No, I know, Jade. The story of Mortal Kombat 1 was also bad, which is stupid because usually, even if the combat of Mortal Kombat isn't good, you can still like the offline content. And even this year, the content was bad. Han Solo, I don't know what you're talking about. You're saying the King emote is missing? I don't know. It could be one of my editors is working on a new emote, so they removed the King Crown emote to put a new one in, or they're working on a new one. I have no idea. Either that or we somehow lost an emote slot, which sucks if we did. Which might have happened. I don't know. I'll have to check later, because like I said, my editors actively put in emotes and stuff. So I don't know what happened, why we would have lost an emote. Maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe once again, YouTube changed things where, as you remember, as I was telling you guys, apparently I wasn't losing emote spots. We were able to change emotes around. Maybe they went to change an emote and the spot disappeared because YouTube recoded the site for the millionth time and fucked it up, so now I lost an emote. It could be. I don't know. This is the first time hearing of it. A Kung Fu Panda became a member this morning. Thank you to A Kung Fu Panda. I appreciate that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the Final Fantasy VII emote was removed ages ago. That hasn't been there for a while. That we removed after a month or two. We put it into a new one because no one was caring about that anymore. Yeah. I guarantee you what happened is probably my editor was probably trying to add new emotes, and how much you want to bet that YouTube reverted and basically removed emote slots? I could be wrong, but I wonder if that's what happened, because that King emote was there like last night, and now it's not there anymore. So how much you want to bet that they were trying to add a new emote, and YouTube just said, oh, well, now we're going to decide that you lose emote spots again if you don't have that number of subs. I wouldn't be surprised. That's how YouTube is. They literally change shit without telling anyone, with no rhyme or reason. They'll give you a feature, then they'll take it away. Oh, thanks, YouTube. That's fucking nice of you. Jordan did a super chat. Do you like Mexican food? What's your go-to? I don't have a go-to. I like various different burritos. I like some tacos. I like quesadillas. I like, man, there's a lot. Different chicken dishes. There's this thing they call it pollo blanco, where basically it's chicken, like chicken breast, that's pounded down thin, but then they make it with a specialty cheese and sour cream sauce with jalapenos and onions and other things. It's super good. I have many different Mexican dishes I like. What's for dinner tonight? I think tonight we're having gumbo. I think tonight we're having our homemade gumbo. Big fridge, there's fucking people. He goes, wouldn't imagine if you went to a tournament and you kicked everyone's butt like the old days. Like, I don't even have an inkling in my head of doing that. I don't even want to go to a tournament ever. You understand? Like, I have no desire to spend the time to plan, to travel, to go to a tournament, to have to stay at a hotel, eat shitty fast food the whole time I'm there, sit around all goddamn day waiting to be called to play my fucking match. It's just the most tedious, time-consuming, boring thing. It really is. I hate to say it. I don't see myself ever going back to being in that tournament life ever again. When I was younger and I didn't have better things to do and I didn't know better, then I was like, oh, cool. But now it's like, I would much rather be home with my family, and then when I'm going to do gameplay, be here on a stream and hang out with you guys and have a fun social time, than be sitting at a fucking arcade or a ballroom, sitting around in a chair all day waiting to be called for my fucking match. Bored to tears. Right? That's how it was. You sit around, oh, God, when's my fucking match? When can I play? Then you go to play casual play, then you get called for your match. Like, fuck. I waited in line for half an hour for casual play. I'm up. Time to play. Oh, Dark Side Phil, report to Station 2. Fucking shit. And you can't leave. You literally can't leave. Because if you leave, then they yell at you because you weren't there for your match. Well, I had to take a shit. Oh, too bad. You're disqualified. Well, I was really hungry. I wanted to get a burger. Too fucking bad. You're disqualified. Well, fuck this. Seriously. By the way, can I get food and drink and bring it into the venue so that I can eat here and don't miss my match? No. Food and drinks are not allowed in the venue. Oh, so... Oh, okay. It's what I mean. People they glamorify it. Oh, it's so good. At least when I was in the tournament scene, dude, it was not, it was work. It was like you're going there to compete. It's like an athlete. It's work. You need discipline. This is not a party atmosphere. I think now what they've done, they've turned these tournaments into like conventions, right? So now you go there and everyone's happy and cool. Oh, we're going to have a party. Go buy merch and shit. None of that existed back then. Back then, it was a grueling fucking thing. Now they've changed all of that, right? So I have zero desire, like literally zero desire to be a part of that. Now, maybe one day there'll be one big final tournament I'll go to before I die. All right. I don't even know what it would be. Obviously, I would like it to be Super Turbo, but I don't think that there's ever going to be a big Super Turbo tournament ever in history. I don't think it will ever exist. Super Turbo is just not big anymore. Yeah, it's the one that started it all, but it's kind of a relic game. It doesn't, I mean, does it have a community? Yeah, on fucking Fightcade that I can't even play on because of trolls. So I can never even be a part of the community that exists, right? So it's like, what am I going to do? Do I have any inkling that I would ever go and be good at a modern fighting game in a competitive setting? No. Like right now, with my skill set at Street Fighter 6, if I entered, let's say I went to Seattle and I entered a local tournament, I could see myself getting halfway through the tournament and then getting eliminated. Like I would never make it to the finals. I don't play enough. You know, I just don't. These people are going to be much better than me, better execution, know a little bit more about the matchups and stuff. They're going to kick my butt because they play a ton, way more than me. Back then, you had to play a ton to be good, you know? And I don't play them. I play, what, twice a week? 2 hours a session? That's not enough to be competitive. I have absolutely no inklings that I would ever be good in a competitive setting. If I were to change my lifestyle around to play the living shit out of competitive fighting games again, like I used to, and then I started actively traveling and getting used to playing in person, because right now I only play online, so I'd have to get used to playing in person. If all those factors happened, then if I went to a tournament, could I do well? Probably yes. But those are just such non-existing factors. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's never going to happen. You know? The way I see it, the only way that could ever happen is if there's already a dramatic change in my life where I have more time that I can spend with my family as it is. Right now, 6 days a week, I'm here streaming full time, and I only get to spend time with my family 1 day a week. Tomorrow, finally, I get a day to spend with my wife almost all day, which is nice. We've had a bunch of hectic weeks where we haven't had a lot of time. It's been like, oh, gotta run around, do appointments, got this to do, got that to do. Finally, tomorrow is the first time in a while where I get to spend time with my wife for a good amount of time, which is excellent. If, let's say I worked less, right, and I had more time with my family, then, you know, could I say, oh, well, because I have more time with my family, now I have to go to a tournament? Sure, but I'm not going to do it now. I don't have time to do it now regardless. I don't have any time to do it, right? By the way, I don't know. Okay, I have something to say. I've noticed recently that I'm seeing possible imposter accounts show up in chat. Like, for example, right now there's someone, their name is Lisa Lou. Now, we have someone who's a frequent contributor to the streams called Lisa Lou, tips me. I don't know who it is. I have no clue who Lisa Lou is. But I've never seen anyone in chat called Lisa Lou before. Now, all of a sudden, we have someone named Lisa Lou in chat. Now, are they going to claim that they're the person? Right? I don't know. But I'm going to make it known. Imposter accounts and shit don't fly here. So if Lisa Lou comes by and tips and says, hey, by the way, that person in chat is not me, and they're making me look bad, I'm just going to fucking ban the account. So I'm just making it known. Don't be around here trying to impersonate people and stuff. You know, there's people who contribute under names anonymously for a reason because they don't want drama. They don't want harassment. And when I see people trying to pull stuff like that, it pisses me off. So if that is what's going on here, you better watch yourself, okay? In fact, I strongly recommend right now, if you're not saying that you're the Lisa Lou who's a contributor, you should probably change your name right now. Gothy has tipped me $5. Thank you to Gothy. We're about to end the podcast, by the way, guys. I know we went late today because we were just chatting, but I got a $5 tip here from Gothy who says, I've been watching Hell's Kitchen. It reminded me of your DSP Tries It videos from back in the day. If you could be on Hell's Kitchen, what dish would you make for Gordon Ramsay? Oh, dude. I don't know anything I can make. I'm not a cook. I'm not a cook in any capacity of the word. I don't, you know, I can make sandwiches. I can make scrambled eggs or eggs over easy. You know, I can't do anything complex at all. I couldn't think of a single dish that I could make that would be like something I would want to serve someone to have a good meal. Honestly. Okay. All right. Guys, we definitely have to end the show. We've gone really long, and obviously I want to get 3 hours in of another Krabs Treasure today. So I hope that you guys will stick around. I hope that you guys will stick around for it. The game is great. It's very fun, and we're in a cool segment right now where we're exploring open the world, and we're doing these optional fun things and extra challenges. So I'm having a great time with it. I hope that you'll stick around to hang out with me. If not, we are doing another Hangout session tonight on the late stream. All we're doing is talking. So any topics we didn't get to, if you want to talk about them tonight, I'm down for that. If you want to come back, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. But in the meantime, I would like to say thank you all for a great stream. I would say that was a fun one. Fun topics discussed. We didn't have too much crazy stuff to go on, but it was pretty fun. And I wish you all a safe and fun Thursday. And I hope that you will all come back on Friday and hang out with me again here on the Level 1 podcast. We'll also be checking out a new game, Little Kitty Big City. All right? So, thank you guys very much, and I will see you soon.